Hi, I'm Kenetor, and thanks for joining me for the Week 49 Progress Report. If you're new here, then please do subscribe and make sure you hit that bell to get notifications for the latest Starbase news. Now let's get to it. It's nearing the end of the year and Frozen Byte have a nice poll to end it off with. They have selected the finalist names for the gas giant, and we have until the 19th of December to put our votes in. Our options are, in the order of the poll, Abstera S, which is an anagram of Starbase and my personal choice. Cerule, this is from Cerulean, which matches the planet's colour. Eos, the Greek goddess of dawn. While I like this one, I would like to avoid using something else's mythology, so Starbase can have its own. May Bob bless you all. Krogius, a Finnish ship owner on which the street Frozen Byte's office is named after. And Origio, which means origin or beginning in Latin. A fine place to start the ever-expanding universe of Starbase. This would be my second choice if I had one. Let me know in the comments why you picked the one you did, and if you haven't voted yet, there's a link in the description. Now let's get on to the weekly report. The main design features worked on last week were a test map built for the cargo lock frame and cargo beams. Electricity consumption tested for both cargo solutions. The mining backpack was tested. Compression rates and processing speed of the backpack was configured. If you didn't know, yes, the mining backpack even processes your material for you, and while its capacity is not yet finalised, this is the first we're hearing that it uses the same compression tech as the modular crates. Interesting stuff. Ship weapon prices have been adjusted to more reasonable values, and crafting material requirements were updated. Economy has had adjustments with material and resource value calculations, price corrections and profit margins adjusted in configurations. Improvements to joint motor behavior design to prepare for new types, allowing cable connections on both sides for data and power. I believe this is for the hinges, in which before could not transmit power, and if you can forgive the pun, this literally opens the doors to new designs for shipbuilders. New UI has been made for creating and joining a company. Design for team hierarchy for companies, player placement in teams and ship rights for teams has been worked on. Design worked on for new storage UIs and interaction. Performance test was done with the scaled thruster effects. And new bolt points were added for the bolt profile for the large hardpoint corners. Starship creator work includes a pre-cabled module test, a carrier module test, module modified, and now there is enough lock beams for a small fighter ship. The community wanted carriers and Frozen Byte are attempting to deliver. More on this awesome news at the end of the video. Onto the gameplay updates. Building tool autofill feature. This will keep building an object even when not actively painting the targeted object being worked on. Simplified and modified inventory code even more to better support moving items between player and station inventories. Hopefully they've nailed this one now, as it's been several weeks this has been worked on. Player mass now slows down ships and makes them heavier in collisions. A separate manager was developed to handle thruster-like sounds of distant ships. Visualization error in the rangefinder's laser beam has also been fixed. Cargo beams now consume power based on how much they are holding. This is a big bit of news for those designing cargo ships. The bigger the cargo, the more power it will need to consume. Let's hope it doesn't eat into your profits too much for my big hauler friends out there. Power consumption of the cargo lock frame has been adjusted. A render bug in asteroids has been fixed. Asteroids remain invisible until fracture swapping has been completed, so the inner material won't flash across the surface when spawning in. So you're just going to have to prospect for material the old-fashioned way. And the building tool resources requirements estimation has been tweaked. The maximum voxel volume is now the tool brush volume, which reduces the possible error in materials consumption. The UI updates for the last week has been an issue with the universal tool having an invisible panel somewhere in the world when not activated has been fixed. Ore compression support has been added, where inventory entries can be tagged with mass compressed and volume compressed. Inventory slots have more space for items which volume is compressed. Mass and volume have been configured and fetched from material compression settings. UI displays compressed ores with the compressed prefix, and their amount is divided by a compression multiplier. Different mining backpack configuration support has been added. Automatic processing removed from the backpack that has no processing slots. I can't wait to see how many different backpacks there will be. Functions created for saving and loading the player's CV state from the server, and company description boxes set to have active input when they are opened. Just a few Spaceship Creator updates this week, with a Locate in 3D view button added to the Scene View window. This will help you find a specific component should you wish to change or modify them. Increased Allow Blueprint Versions file size on the Blueprint server, and issues with autosaving have been fixed, sometimes not clearing the stash or clearing it when it shouldn't. Onto the station art updates. The VIS loading docks decorations continues, focusing on outer decoration draft with loading docks. VIS main hall dock decoration, parenting and polishing has been done. Storage floor decorating continues, with decals, plates and lights added. And modelling and UV mapping completed for the command center LODs. Weapon artwork includes the assault rifle retopology worked on. Retopology is remodelling a weapon to look better or show the same details with lesser polys. Visual tweaks to the torpedo launcher with some details removed. All material cubes edited to have similar bolting holes to the biggest version. And the revolver, anti-gel and rail rifle textures have been updated, and paint jobs updated for better combinations. And lastly, other updates this week are small asteroid rocks and clusters have been created. Plug component added to the navigation receiver. The bigger receiver now works on a hardpoint without a turntable. The smaller receiver already had this connection possibility. Docking to the carrier with smaller ships tested. Some issues with docking to a moving ship. The smaller ship does need to be in a specific slot to be locked with the lock beams. More on that in just a moment. But now let's have a look at some of the videos supplied this week. First up, let's talk about how awesome the devs are for listening to us, our ideas and pushing the limits of the game to try and see if making a carrier ship is actually possible. While this test is basic, it's a huge step in a direction I've seen a lot of players ask for. Next up, we have a preview on the current status of the work in progress Kingdom frigate, the Valiant. She's shaping up to be a fine ship with only the best in Kingdom's weapon technology. Although a small update this week, it's been quite a lot of work for the teams working on the assets for stations, ships and weapons, and I just can't wait to see that Valiant finished. But that's all for this week. Feel free to join me on my Discord to talk more about Starbase, there'll be a link for that below. Like and share this video with your company and faction, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.